Welcome, dear one. I'm so delighted to welcome back one of my favorite people, my design and branding guru, Felipe, also known by his spiritual name, Amit. He is the founder of Noono Studio, a renowned design agency from Brazil that works with brands all over the world. This is our second episode together, and I am always inspired by how Felipe masterfully weaves art, spirituality, authentic expression, and business goals into something extraordinary. In this episode, we dive into the soul of branding, how it can go far beyond just visuals or a logo to become a living, breathing extension of your essence. Felipe shares his wisdom on creating brands that resonate deeply, building meaningful connections, and reflect the unique energy of their creators. Noono Studio is the creative force behind both of my brands, Bliss Body Sacred Journeys and Vlada de Sousa, as well as the visuals of this podcast. I'm so excited for you to experience this conversation. Stay with us because it's packed with insights, inspiration, and the kind of wisdom that will transform how you think about branding. Let's get started. Hi, Philippe. Welcome back. So good to have you back for the second episode.
I'm very happy to be here again. Thank you for trusting and thank you for the opportunity.
I got so many grateful feedbacks from people who heard our first episode on creativity and spirituality. And for those who didn't listen to this episode, I highly recommend. It was very insightful. And I heard for many people, it was quite helpful to understand how to bridge their career expansion with inner healing and personal development. So it was great. It was great. And as we completed our first episode with touching the topic of the brand, we decided to get together one more time and go a little bit deeper on the brand part of it. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling excited to talk about this topic. I really love brands and branding, and I really love how we can express ourselves through brands. So I'm really passionate about this.
Yeah. And, many people could think like, oh, this is a podcast on healing and personal development and growth. Why do we need to talk about brand? And I'm sure you will let us know why it's really, really important. And before we go into this whole journey about understanding the depth and the meaning of what brand is, I have a question for you that I didn't ask you last time. And that would be, what is in your experience soul is?
Soul?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe huge power, a huge amount of energy that is totally beyond our bodies, our beyond matter, beyond everything, that never dies, and that it's uh, in eternity, always alive and shining in any place, even if we are here or if we are in another dimensions, planets, the soul is always alive, and it can turn into different bodies, different things. And that's what I think it's
I love that.
soul.
I love that description. And while you're speaking, looking at the colors behind you, it just started
Hmm.
to kind of talk to me, those colors, like almost like the color, you know, of your energy somehow. So it was really powerful for me to listen to your explanation and also see the this beautiful artwork that you have right behind you.
Yes, it is. It is beautiful. It's from a guy that now must have 25 years old from Minas Gerais called Eduardo, and he does a great job. I love his work.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
I deeply resonate with your experience of what soul is. And let's see how today we can bridge also what um, brand is and how it all can connect and relate to something spiritual within us, maybe to our soul. So, my first question for you would be if you can share your philosophy around the concept of branding and what purpose does it serve beyond the commercial role?
Sure. Yeah, first, I think that it's very interesting to say that, and this is something that, especially in Brazil, maybe many people don't uh, know or don't realize even yet that branding is a word in the gerund form. So it is always happening. It is always alive. It is a process, right? And a constant evolution, management, and care. So it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. So
Wow.
this is very, very important to be aware of. And I think that branding is a tool for connection, not just commerce. So it tells a story that resonates with people emotionally and culture. So branding is about creating meaning, building relationships, and leaving deep impact. So branding is about connection, especially.
Wow. How we connect with our audience or with our um, customers or
Yeah.
clients. Mm-hmm.
How we create and we maintain and recreate stories, narratives, and how we build connection through narratives.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I deeply resonate with that, to be honest. And um, I've heard many times people would ask me, why would I need a brand? Like,
Mm.
still, it's very rare when people would invest in their personal brand um, or will even give it any kind of importance or recognize any some sort of importance in doing that. And I heard so many times when you're an entrepreneur and you're only starting your business, just don't waste your time and money on doing your brand. I heard
Mm.
it so many times, and I don't feel like I can agree with that. And maybe you can share a little bit on that. Why would investing in the branding be important for people like entrepreneurs, for example?
Mhm. Yeah, because people love stories and they love to connect. And today, nowadays, especially, we are not dumps anymore. So we need to if we want to buy something, if we want to spend our money with any kind of service or product, we need to feel a connection with this person, with this brand, with this company. So we need to know what they are doing about our planet. We need to know what they're doing about society. We need to know what they are talking about beyond the product, beyond the service. So branding comes to help these people, these companies, to 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 create this connection, to build this relationship. Otherwise, it's just a ordinary thing. So the importance to create a brand, to think about this creation and to build this and to work on this process is to really create something meaningful for the world, to really create meaningful connections and to keep them and to feed them and to make them being important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you feel like there is some kind of soul to a brand? Like, can a brand have its own soul?
For sure. The soul of a brand, it's like its emotional core. So its values, its personality, purpose, and its unique story. So it's like the invisible thread that goes every interaction, making this brand feel alive and authentic. So it it
Mm-hmm.
exists, the soul of a
Mm-hmm.
brand, for sure.
And do you feel this soul kind of gets the birth in the process of creation of the brand? It's when, for example, I ask you to create a brand for me and we start working together. And
Hmm.
in this collaboration and this co-creation between, um, for example, what I do and my intentions and how you can translate what I do in my intentions into an artwork, into colors, shapes, forms, visuals. Um, that's the moment where the soul is born of the brand, or maybe you can feel it in a different place or when it's launched.
No, I think this moment is very important to sorry to give birth to this part of you that we will like explore uh your inner part to give birth to these parts, to give birth to the personality of the brand, the values, the purpose. So the branding process, the beginning of the branding process, it is how can I say? Do you know when you're born that you have that document like the name, the height, the weight, your mother's name, your father's name? It's like a dossier. I don't know the name, but it's like a first dossier that tells the story of the soul. And of course, that while you are branding in in the world and putting your brand in the world and the brand is relating to other people and to its audience, it can change, but the core, it's always there, so this core, it's like this, what we can call the soul of the brand.
Yes. And I just remembered before I started, when I started only to think about my creating my brand, which was not even my idea.
Mhm.
I I always was kind of hiding behind Bliss Body Journeys brand. I love this brand so much. It's
Mhm.
literally my baby, and I've nurtured it. I love it to death. And I have been comfortable with having Bliss Body as a brand that came through my work, and I never thought about creating a brand for me as a mentor, as a teacher, as a healer. And then Pedro suggested me to have a think if I want to have my brand as well. So when I did that, when I started thinking about it, I started really getting nervous of how can I trust someone to interpret what I do, which is a very sensitive thing, into kind of into a brand. And I remember that I talked with a few people and I received a few proposals. And those proposals looked very, very copy paste. And I just the moment I looked at them, I immediately couldn't couldn't even imagine having any of that as my brand because it was so inauthentic. It was so copy paste. It was so not tailored. No, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then
Super.
only in collaboration together with you, I started to notice and feel like I'm heard. Someone is taking time. Someone is really going deep into what I do. And I could actually feel safe. And I feel like I can trust that you can translate, my artwork basically through your artwork. So
Mhm.
so I would say my question here is um when someone feels very sensitive around creating their brand, what would you recommend? What would you suggest? How would you, any advice you would give when looking for support, when looking for a designer to create a brand?
I think the best factor is to really feel the connection. Exactly what you said, like this feeling of connection. Never hire anyone that you won't feel uh, heard, you won't feel like spontaneous, you won't feel like um, cared. So I think it's about connection. It is totally about this uh, resonance, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially when it comes to the personal brand, which is maybe the most sensitive thing you can yeah, but yeah, maybe any brand, it's a very sensitive, any sensitive
It
thing,
is.
whether that's your business or it's your personal thing. And while it's for us as creators or entrepreneurs or business owners, it's very important to make sure that the brand represents us properly or represents what we do properly. It's also important that our customers or people that will be getting in touch with the brand will, be inspired or like it. So it's interesting question here for you. Where do you see this balance between expressing ourselves through the brand and also making sure that it's aligned with our client, that people will actually resonate with it?
Yeah, that is the secret. I think the secret is this balance between what you want to express and what your audience desires. So it's like to find this middle path between those 2 points, you know. So uh, we have to respect your uniqueness, your authenticity, your single parts, and to put them on the table, and then understand the desires of the audience and see how we can relate these desires to your single parts, how we can create beautiful stories, and we can create a narrative that make this connection very balanced, you know, so you can feel that you're being expressed, that you're being showed, that your soul is being expressed, and at the same time, your audience can feel heard, can feel nurtured, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that the balance is very important because, for example, if I compromise my authenticity, right, compromise my style or what I resonate with for the sake of, okay, I think this will be amazing, everyone will like it, let's do this, right? And then it becomes like almost a separate entity that
Mm.
doesn't doesn't connect to me or my energy, right? I would speak in terms of my energy. Someone's energy is more like neutral, someone's minimalistic, someone's very expressive, etc., etc. So it's a fine line, right, between um, choosing branding that we believe others will like and making sure it still translates who we are, I guess.
Super, super, totally.
So
Yeah.
anything you feel is important for people who thinking to create their brand to to make sure about the authenticity of the brand. How can the brand really be truly, truly authentic? So, in my opinion, what is truly authentic will anywhere resonate with people. I just want to take a pause here for a minute and let you know how working together with me one on one can deeply impact your life, change your energy, and give you the most necessary tools for self leadership. This year, my heart is devoted to walking alongside those ready to release the weight of old wounds and rediscover the vibrant energy that's been waiting within. Imagine stepping into a life where you feel lighter, freer, and deeply connected to your soul's purpose. Through the profound process of parts work and my gift of clairvoyant energy reading and healing, and 10 years of experience being a spiritual guide and mentor, meditation teacher, I guide you in creating a space within yourself where your healing feels safe and the transformation flows naturally. Together, we will unlock your capacity for self leadership and empower you to move through life with clarity and strength. If this resonates with you, don't be shy and get in touch with me. You can visit my website or check the show notes to explore how we can work together. Let's uncover the radiance of who you truly are, starting right now. Now back to the show.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the authenticity is built by connecting the brand to its creator, values, purpose, and uh, this core, that when we find and we are very clear with your values, your purpose, with the brand for sure, because sometimes your purpose can be different of the purpose of the brand, but to find these core parts, and they are the most single and special parts that must be very explored and very uh, studied, because we are 8 billion people, so we are 8 billion different combinations of all this stuff. So when we do our best to read this DNA, this single DNA that we have, we can create authenticity. And um, we don't need to be shy. We don't need to be afraid of that, because we need to show our uniqueness. Uh, I think that maybe 70 years ago, with the Industrial Revolution, we needed to build brands that were very uh, similar sometimes in colors because of the areas they were about. But now we know that we are unique, so we need to be uh, brave and to show our uniqueness through these brands that we create.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely one of the channels to self-express.
Hmm.
And when do you have sometimes people coming to you said, I want my brand. Can you make me a brand? And maybe they haven't thought about what is their purpose or what is their vision or what are the values, and how can you help people who have actually no idea? for example, if someone is starting and they just, they started something, and it's working, but they haven't went deep into the core of why they're doing what they're doing. What would you say to this person if they would come to you and ask you to create a brand?
This uh, it's funny because this happened really recently with a client that we're now in the agency maybe building, I think, 8 brands at the same time now. We have 8 branding projects running right now. And this client came with a chat GPT ready branding process. Like, look, this is what I asked ChatGPT to do for my brand. Like, this is my manifest, this is my values, this is my purpose, this is my everything. And it was funny because I said, okay, uh, I didn't even read. I I must be honest. We are now.
Thank you for being honest.
I didn't read. Um, because I showed him the importance of doing the branding process, and we are doing right now, and he's so happy, and so he cried on the last meeting. But the process is we have a strategist, a creative strategist that is not me, that works on this process before the design, where we we do a lot of conversations with him, and we hear, and on this part of the process I'm also present, but we hear a lot what he needs to say, what he feels, and we just translate into values, into a purpose, into mission, vision, and we translate what he's saying, and we show him, and we create together this first dossier, a DNA of the brand. So it's a serious and deep work of strategy that we do before the design, to map all these core things, and that will be like a big guide for everything that the brand is gonna do. So it's a hard work.
Okay, I'm really happy you said that. It is really truly a hard work. And when you committing yourself, first of all, to do this internal exploration, to ask yourself all those questions, to sit with them, to invest your energy, to invest your time, also to invest financially, right? To work with a professional agency like yours. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of investment. And what would you say would be the why? Why would that be worth it? Why investing and spending time to do the brand actually at the end of the day is really worth it?
Because the market is so huge, and the market is so smart also. So uh, there are many smart people that are investing on it, and they are growing, and they are selling, and they are creating meaningful and deep connections with people. So if you're not doing, you probably not um, will not be part of it, because the branding process is so important for you to be aware of how you will create real connection with people. So otherwise you're going to be swallowed by the other brands that are doing this. And I think it's super important. It's super important. And the brands who knows this importance, they are creating connections.
So what you're
Did I
saying
answer?
is that um, basically, number one, it actually helps the business, right? when your clients or your customers see that you have spent time to understand what you are, what are you all about, and spend time into creating your brand, they already kind of know that things matter to you. It's important to you. You go deep into things, and there is more trust from the people who connect with a brand.
Yeah, probably, probably. Because you were telling something, you were telling some story. You are not just selling a product or a service. You are uh, putting your soul into the world. Like you are putting your values before your product. You're putting your purpose, your uh your soul basically before what you were what you were selling. It's not just the thing, but you were selling a bigger thing, you know? You're giving a bigger thing. You're giving more than what you offer.
Yes, I agree with you. And I think maybe I'm really, really sensitive. But for example, when I'm connecting with a company or um, anyone that is providing any kind of service, and the first thing I sense for myself if I resonate with a brand, even with colors, with fonts, um, and maybe due to my really extreme sensitivity to those things, I might make my actually my final decision on going ahead with that, I don't know, whichever that is or not, just based on those principles, on those things, how I'm connecting to the energy of the brand. So for me it's so important, and as a client, as a customer, makes absolute and huge difference. But I'm curious what you think about people that think this is an easy thing, and you can go to Canva, for example, and you can just
Yeah,
kind of, create your own thing very fast with templates. What do you think about templates? I see a lot of templates.
I think that first I want to just add something on the last answer that I think first you can just try to do an exercise of analyzing and reflecting about how you relate to brands. That's what you just said. Like, uh, why you prefer one brand and not another, and not like another. Why you buy this shampoo and not that shampoo? Why you buy this phone and not the other phone? Why you buy this computer and not another computer? So, with this exercise, you will really quick understand the power of branding. So I think this is a good exercise. And um, templates, I don't know what you mean about uh, creating templates, because in a part of in there's a part of templates that they are normal and important and good. Like when I create a brand, normally we deliver some templates for the client to use with the brand identity, right?
No,
But
no,
what
I'm
you were
asking, yeah, in Canva, for example, there is like a free template of the brand, and I see like
okay,
maybe millions of people use the same template for their brands, and there
template.
are million brands that look exactly the same. That's what I was
Yeah.
going into.
Yeah, I think that sometimes, in some cases, like if you don't have any money to invest, if you don't have any basically money to invest, I think it's okay, because you want to start with something, you want to do, and don't be like don't uh, just don't do I don't know how to say this, sorry, but it's like don't be stagnated, don't be like stop just because you can't pay for branding with an agency. So okay, go there, go in Canva, do your best. Um, but after you have some money to invest, you need to put this energy on branding. It's super important. So I think it's okay at some point, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you said that. It's very important for people that are starting and maybe they don't know if what they're doing will last long or be interesting or profitable or manageable, and they don't want to invest a lot of money in creating a brand. That I guess happens also sometimes when you actually have resources, but you're still not yet fully knowing what you're doing, maybe. And a lot of examples that I heard that people would invest in building the brand, building the website, and then they are lost in terms of what they are offering or they are actually selling or
Yeah.
there. So it's good that you said that you're encouraging people to start where they are, maybe with something temporary, that even is a free template on Canva that maybe millions of people are using. But then when they can and when they feel that it's time to really embody authentically what they're doing, it would be really good to invest
Yeah.
and work with professionals.
Yeah, because I see many clients that they have the money and they don't want to invest because they don't know, they don't realize the importance of the process. So uh, recently I had a client that came to us and he said like, "Oh, I'm investing millions in machines and processing, and I can't invest in branding right now." So come on, you're investing millions in machines. You don't have like a small part of a million to invest in branding. Why? You know? So this is the kind of people that I I feel like, oh my God, because they have the money to invest, but they don't give the right importance to it. So, okay,
Yeah. Yes, I understand that. And I guess, it all comes back to me in terms of the sensitivity part,
hmm,
and if inside of ourselves we're not super sensitive and this, things that we can see and touch and connect with are not our priorities. This is not what we look first when we are connecting with something, right? Maybe that's why we don't feel that's important for us. But I guess, everything that is art, design, branding, self-expression, it's kind of very important for sensitive people that have
yeah,
sensibility, that have some sort of taste. And by the way, I was I was shamed so much when I was little, when I was a child, for having a very bad taste. Like I was called a gypsy because I like the gold and all this kind of different colors and everything. So I have a part of me that still believes that I don't have a good taste, and this part of me is always coming back and kind of makes me think, oh, is everything, have a good taste, and I keep feeling that, sometimes. Um, but I know how important it is for me to make sure that I will come across as someone that have a sensibility and kind of um, some sort of, even if it's not for everyone, but my taste, let's put it this way, right?
I
So
love sorry, you can finish it.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I love there's a website called threads.report. And this is a report that a very important agency, design agency and branding agency in New York, they are Brazilians and they are in New York. They did this study with Wix, and it's a very nice report. It's called actually designthreads.report. And the question that they bring is so interesting, and I love, and I bring this to the classes that I give, which is, who says what is good, what is bad taste? Who says what is good, what is bad design? Who who Who? Who says? So,
Good point. Thank you. Part of me
huh?
feels
Yeah,
seen. Thank you.
who says what is good, what is bad design? So,
I have also a major critic that I live with that is always always hyper he is hypersensitive, but is hypersensitive to everything. And I very often hear from him this kind of comments around, oh, you put the dot there, or this sentence should be a little bit lower than that. And like I hear this feedback all the time, and I understand it's very, for some, again, for very sensitive people, it's
yeah, I think that,
super
that
important.
there are some things that bring harmony, bring balance, bring sophistication. There are technical things that can bring this sensation of harmony, sophistication, and but anyways, um, right?
Yes,
That's it.
yes, yes.
Say,
At the
like
end of
we
the
know
day,
when something is balanced and it's not balanced, but is it good and bad? No, it's just balanced and not balanced.
yes. And when it comes to your taste, I'm curious. When it comes to your
Mm,
taste, because I understand it's a very difficult position for you to be able to, like, now you're creating 8 different brands, and you need to read energy of 8 different businesses and
uh-huh.
go through this process of give birth to their own, you know, expressions of who they are, and they will be different, right? Some will be more bubbly, someone will be cartoonish, some will be very straight and sharp, right? The energy is very, very different.
Yes.
How do you play with it? It's because everyone have their own inclination, like I love this style, but in your case you cannot love a style. You need to literally channel and translate other people's expression into a brand. It's a very challenging place to be honest. I cannot imagine how you're doing that.
Yes, it's not my business. It's them.
Okay.
This is not my business. It comes from other places. So I really feel that. So it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is the thing, right? This is the thing, because when someone already have a preconceived notions or their own agenda or their own opinion, they will be imposing on how your brand should look like. This might not go always well, right? Because at the end of the day, I guess designer is harmonizer, like
Hmm.
a almost like a translator of something that is intangible, very etherical, into something material that will start having colors and shapes and forms and fonts and logos and everything that will be channeling energy. Because at the end of the day, color is a energy channel, right? You see the color, you get immediately response in your system. Fonts as well, logo, it's like logo is it's extremely powerful thing. And that's the thing, if you're creating the brand from, I don't know, from your head or from your internal templates or how it should be, or wanting all brands to be on the same vibe, for example, then you actually cannot be authentic translator. And yeah.
Yeah. Eh, it happens, it comes. And I think the branding process really helps to because the process happens. So it's like one step at a time, one step at a time. We do many meetings, many encounters to discuss the strategy, discuss the values, discuss, and it starts to appear in my mind. You know, I started feeling how it should be. And um, one day I just need to sit down and it happens. It comes. And it's really interesting because in the last sorry, Alexa just is advising me something here. Um, it's interesting because the more I give space to the to God to be, you know, the more I give space to something bigger than me to really work through me, uh, the more I don't need to adjust anything. It's really crazy that the last seven, all the brands that I delivered this year, I didn't need to adjust like almost anything. It just approved by the first, you know, like this. Oh my God, that's it. So it's interesting. It's really interesting.
Yes, yes. Basically, it's an ability for you um to have all parts of you that have opinions and their own preferences to step back so that
Hmm.
something greater can come through and
Hmm.
create something relevant and authentic for that particular brand, right?
Yes.
And this is something that you cannot learn in the School of Arts, I guess. That's the thing. Probably the fact that you actually um, in spiritual world and you grow and develop yourself on that spiritual level allows you to effortlessly translate the energy into matter.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
can be. Hmm.
um, my next question would be for you in terms of rebranding. You said that
Hmm.
branding is something that continuously happening. And there are brands that never rebrand, like Ferrero Rocher. All right, these candies, I was 1 year old when I was eating them, and I'm still eating them, and they never changed. It's just still working. And I see some brands are experimenting, exploring, reinventing themselves. How do you see this evolution of the brand? What is the sign that you might start considering, what if I need to do the rebranding? And what are the maybe dangers of doing rebranding and benefits of doing rebranding?
Yeah. And there's a very trendy case right now that it's super on the topics, that it's Jaguar rebranding, because they just rebranded and people are very divided. Like, oh my God, I hate this. Oh my God, what did they did? That's crazy. They will not survive. And uh the time for rebranding is when your audience is changing, your strategy is changing, and you see that what you communicate and how you're connecting to people are not resonating anymore. So it can be the message, the narrative, the design, uh, and people change a lot so fast. We change a lot so fast. And when the brand is not resonating anymore with the audience, it's time for rebranding for sure. And I think that when this misalignment happens, it's time for a rebrand.
What do you feel it's not having resonance from people, or we don't resonate with this anymore? Which one would be maybe most relevant is when you feel like, okay, my audience doesn't connect to my brand. Something happened. For example, no one is, I don't know, interested or buying or attracted to my brand. Or I feel like we are now not one whole thing. There is this brand and there is me, and we are not vibing on the same
I
level.
think both cases are very important to be studied. There's no one or another. I think both are important. And when both are happening at the same time, it's really it's really time for rebranding. It's very, very clear. And if one or another is happening, is also a time to review something. So maybe it's not like a huge rebranding. Maybe it's just a message. Maybe it can be like the positioning that must change. Maybe because like the core, like the purpose, the values, they they don't change. Maybe the purpose can change, but if the purpose change, it's another brand. It's not maybe the same brand anymore. So it's not a rebranding. It's like a new brand, right?
Yes, yes, it's a new
Uh,
brand. Yeah.
but maybe you need to adjust like the tone of voice. Maybe you need to adjust the design. It's there's not a formula. There's not like a single answer for this. So need to evaluate all the points, all the touch points, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, it's such a sensitive topic to go into again, revisiting your values, your purpose, your mission, your vision, your statement. And it's such a, such a sensitive work and deep work to do that maybe in a day-to-day we are just putting this aside. We're like, oh, okay, not today, not, and then not tomorrow. And then, months passing by and we feel something is off and we feel maybe we should revisit something, but we still don't take time for that. Um, can brand hit a crisis if we really miss this moment when it's time to kind of revive the soul of the brand?
Can the brand what you said?
It kind of, is it dangerous when we miss the moment to address that something is off, or I'm feeling off towards it, or people feeling off towards it, and we're just postponing and delaying the rebranding, or kind of reviving the soul of the brand, renewing the brand, or rebranding? Is it dangerous if you just miss the timeline, and then I don't know, maybe it's too late to rebrand?
I think that the maybe the main sign for that is the money income. So how you are you selling? So are you gonna wait until you don't sell anything to rebrand? So that's right. So if you start seeing that it's going down, that people are not connecting, so don't wait until zero to do something, right? So I think maybe um, a good metric is to see how are you selling. So
Mm-hmm.
don't wait the red light to do this, especially because it takes time to rebrand. It takes months. So when the red light starts giving signs, just do it.
Yeah, I thank you for saying that. I feel different. Like from the moment we created my brand with you, it's been some time, and I feel I'm not the same person, 100% not the same person.
Mhm.
So I feel internally I have rebranded myself for sure. Um, and I'm starting to think to see how that can potentially impact, what you created, what we created. Um,
Hmm.
so in my mind, there is this process happening right now of,
Hmm.
reevaluating, and seeing how then I can, come back to you and say, okay, let's reimagine this again. So just letting you know, I'm in that I'm in that stage right now, because definitely a few
Let's do it.
years.
Yeah. For personal branding is more common that this happens because we change a lot, especially we that are um, seekers and we are always working in ourselves. We're just 10 lives in 1 year, so it's normal.
It's
Don't feel
true.
bad about this. Yeah.
Oh, I feel good about this. I feel excited.
Yeah.
I know it's another journey, a sensitive process. Like it's always intimidating, but I feel good about it. And um yeah, so that's happening on the background. And just for us, I know we're in time, just for us to kind of wrap it up, is there anything you feel you would just really want to put out there about the importance of the brand from your perspective and what it is from your perspective, or any message for people who have in a brand but they still considering what to do about it?
Call me. Call me, and I will
We
show
will
you the
put your
importance.
contacts in the show notes.
Yeah,
Yes, call Philippe.
I'll show the
Actually,
importance
yes.
of that. Yeah, let's do it. And I forgot to tell something that when you asked about when I was telling you about the client that was investing millions in machines and didn't want to invest in branding. I have I have a few slides that I use in a masterclass of branding that I give sometimes. That sometimes I use these slides to show my client the importance of branding. So some clients they come not knowing this importance, but they are open for listening to me and I can show the importance of this. So what I can say is this like come let's talk about your brand and I will really show you the importance of this. Yes. And there's something that you told me that you maybe asked me that I want to answer.
Of course.
That how I feel about your brand,
Yes. I was so
right?
shy to ask you this question, but yeah, I'm excited to
No,
know.
but I want to say because I really love, even if you're changing, and I think it's normal, but it's a brand that for me conveys a profound nobility of values and that elevates human virtues to the highest degree of sophistication. So it's welcoming and maternal in my point of view. So it's noble. It's uh, it's a feeling of this nobility when you elevate our virtues in a noble state, you know? So that's what I feel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I I was very surprised to hear like it's maternal and welcoming.
Yeah.
It's interesting how you translated this. And yeah, I have no idea, how it feels from the outside, because I'm on the inside, how it what it conveys on the outside. And I'm very happy to hear that, because I do really have this annoying mother's energy. I just have too much of that energy. But I'm happy that it comes as welcoming. And yeah, regarding nobility, I cannot do anything about it. There is something there. There is something there that just wants to be expressed in this way. Definitely, my big part of me just like resonating a lot with this now. And thank you so much. I deeply appreciate your input and yeah, translating those things I cannot put in words and understand even myself into into what you created, into this art that you created. And I'm very, very grateful for your work and input.
Mhm. Nice. I just translated.
Thank you so much, Philippe. I really want to share with everyone who is listening that I trust Philippe 100%, 100 million percent. And that's the person that is extremely reliable and friendly and kind and super spiritual. And if I would recommend anywhere to handle such a sensitive process as creating your brand, that would be you, Philippe. So
Thank you.
hope
I
people will
really,
find you.
yes. Thanks a lot, Vlada. Thanks a lot again.
Obrigada.
Obrigado.